Hi everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth Story, and today, as part of 30 days of, I don't even know if it's exactly 30 days, we're calling it Junermond. Junemond. A hashtag Junemond. You'll see it in the title, right? Um, so 30 days of Lenormand, kind of a redux of Lenormand. And to start it off, I'm going to do something that Chris and the name of his um, YouTube channel has a bunch of numbers in it, and Chris, nobody can remember numbers. There we go. Chris 379000. I'll put a link to his in the description box below. But he messaged me today and said, I just went through all my Lenormand decks and had to film it really quick because I need to get my Lenormand decks back together. And basically, Steven from Tiff Tarot, he did hashtag 22 faves, which I did a response to that as well. And so this is a response to Chris's, I don't know if he's calling it hashtag 36 faves, because that's what it is. 36 faves. So basically going through your Lenormand decks and picking out favorites of each of the Lenormand cards. I have decks everywhere, and so I was going to save it and to actually do this today when you're seeing it, but this is actually yesterday because I had to clean up this mess so that I could actually do readings. So I have here a pile of Lenormand cards, and these are some of my favorite cards. No, you will all notice that I did not use every single one of my own. There are a couple of my own in here, but I try to be judicious. Obviously, I painted them, so they're my favorites because they're what I see Lenormand as. But I think I was quite fair. So let's just get started and look at some of my favorite cards for each of the cards. So number one is the Rider. And I'm going to forget some of these names probably. This is from the Spooktacular Lenormand. And look, it is the Headless Horseman. And plus, look at the backs. I adore this deck. I haven't done a walkthrough of it yet. I love this deck. This deck will be being used for Embrace the Magical in October. Yes. So there's one Rider. I also love the Cavalier or the Rider in the Revolution Lenormand Revolution. I just think it's gorgeous. I love the colors. I love that you have the man here with the lantern who's like, here we have this rider and he's rushing off. He's got good news. Maybe they've won the battle and he's like waving him through and it's just, you get the energy of this fast movement with this card. I just love it. And who knows where my phone is so that I can turn it down. Let's see. Yes. There we go. So yeah, I love that one. Clover, I like a lot of Clover cards. I just went with a traditional. This is from the 1889. I just like the Clover. I mean, they're green. I like the bright Kelly green. It's just, it's a beautiful Clover. But I have a lot of these. It's like I have a lot of decks where I have favorites, so it's hard for me to narrow some down. But I just love the bright green. I love the 1889 Lenormand. So another 1889 Lenormand is the ship. I'm a huge fan of ship cards in Lenormand. So I do apologize. I am looking over here because my monitor's over here so I can make sure you guys can try to see them. But yeah, I love ship cards in Lenormand. It's one of those, in tarot you have those cards that you look at to see if a deck's going to do it for you. The ship card is one of those cards for me. Love the Claire de Lune Lenormand ship. Absolutely. This is probably my top favorite of my ship cards. But I also really love the Maybe Lenormand ship. I love that ship. Love that ship. You know what? Another ship that I love that I didn't pull out is the Mystical Lenormand ship. I think I really love that one too. There's just so many. There's so many. Houses, I didn't have a ton of favorite. There's a lot of houses that I like, but I used, before there was the 1889 Lenormand, it was the Game of Hope. And that's one of my earlier decks I've used for a long time. And to me, I just really associate this house because I just read with this a lot. Again, the other version, but it's the same image. So I just think of this a lot when I think about the house card. For the tree card, a tree is another favorite, so I do have a couple. I love from the Serpent's Oracle Lenormand, I love the Flaming Tree. I think it's so gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. I love from the Vintage Lenormand, that's one of my ultimate favorites. It looks like Africa. Well, where I was in Africa, it looks like that. Gorgeous. And I really love the Game of Hope, or the now the 1889, because again, I just sat with this tree for so many readings. I just love it. Clouds, I have the Gilded Reverie. I do think this is really beautiful. I like the bright light. You know, coming here, we've got the clouds and we've got the storm and we've got the lightning striking down here, but then we still have that bright space over here. So I do think that's really beautiful. I actually really like the simplicity of the, what's this called? Sorry, there's a lot of decks out here. Oh, where is this box? If you could see my table right now. Under the Roses. I can't find it, but it's Under the Roses. It's just really simple, but you can see that light again. I do like to see dark and lightness in clouds cards, and I think that's really beautiful. And I really love the Medea Lenormand's clouds. I just do. I just do. I just do. For the snake card, hands down, there are 2 snake cards in the Celtic Lenormand, and I think I love both of them, but I really love this one because it's actually shedding its skin and you get that understanding of transformation, which isn't necessarily a traditional meaning, but it is a way that I read the snake card. So I do love that. Coffin card, and this is the Game of Hope one because I think it gets changed in the 1889. I could be wrong about that. I'm not going to stop and look. But this is a mini version of the Game of Hope, which was the precursor to the 1889. And I just love it because A, it's a hearse, so we have the coffin. But B, it's on wheels, so we do have that sense of, okay, there's an ending, but now we're kind of starting on this new journey. I don't know, I just love it. It's adorable for a coffin card. For the flowers or bouquet card, again, 1889, look at how gorgeous that is. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite decks, so it's going to happen. I also actually really love the Piatniks. This is the deck that I learned on. Sorry, this is not the best camera to do this on. But the Piatnik Lenormand, which is my very first deck, I just love that bouquet. And I love the flowers, and just a field of flowers in the Lenormand, in the Celtic Lenormand. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. The Scythe card, I'm sorry, I had to pick my own because, no, I'm not sorry. I love this card. I really do love this card. I think it gets the painful cutting across, but it also has the wheat and the idea of the harvest, and that's how I read the Scythe card, and so I absolutely love this card from my deck, the Color and Story and Color Lenormand. Whip and Broom cards, I really don't have a lot of favorites. I do like decks, this is the 1889, that are quite simple and that just have a whip and a broom, and then it just doesn't have any kind of energy connotation, and you just, is it a whip, is it a broom? So I didn't really have any big favorites other than my own. Birds, I love this bird from the vintage Lenormand, even though there's only one bird in it, which technically I prefer there to be multiple birds, but I just love this image. And I really love the little one in the bluebird Lenormand. A, I just wanted to show it because I love the bird on the back of the card, and B, I do love these little birds, and they're all chitter-chattering away. And I did put mine in here simply because for me, the bird card often, see how so bright. For me, very often, the birds is about anxiety and like mental chatter. And so that idea of something sort of noise that kind of obscures the sky. So I do, obviously I painted it to be towards how I read. And so of course that's going to be something that resonates with me. Creepy child. I don't even like creepy children. I don't really have any favorite children. There's a lot of children's cards I like, but the first thing that came to mind, this is from the Bohemian, I think it's the Bohemian Gothic Lenormand. It's not associated with the Bohemian Gothic, it's not the same company as the Bohemian Gothic Tarot, but It's creepy child. I don't know. Um, I have a couple foxes. I love the fox in the Celtic Lenormand because he's going about his business and he's being smart. He's figuring out how he's going to catch this fish, and he's thinking outside of the box to think, okay, I'm going to have to use some strategy here. So I really like that. I just love this fox from the Medea Lenormand just because look at that face. Just, yeah. And I also love the fox from the Clair de Lune because it's just beautiful. Bear cards, there's a lot of bear. I love my bear card. I did not put it in there. I do love the Game of Hope. Again, I read a lot with this, and I just like that simple black bear. So I do love that. Stars card, again, I do really love my star card, but I really love the stars card here in the Under the Roses, Lenormand. I just think it's really pretty, and it's like a different color tone than you would think of for stars, but it's still really pretty. Stork, I had to pick the 1889 because one of the things about Storks is Stork is a movement card, right? So it is a card that moves. So in mine, I've got a wave rolling. A lot of Stork cards just have a Stork standing there, which is okay. It's still a Stork. It doesn't change the way you read it. But, you know, for me, I really like that this to me looks like that he's moving. He's lifting off and he's getting ready to fly, or he's landing, but there's like movement here. And so I really like that. It's still a simple image, but you still see movement. So I do like that. Of course, with the dog card, I mean, and this is called the Isabel Lenormand that my friend Annika, aka Quilfin, drew for me. And of course, the dog card. I mean, what can you say about the dog card? The other dog card that's my absolute favorite is the Clair de Lune Lenormand. I mean, that to me is so stunning. Just an image all by itself, even completely separate from Lenormand, I think it's an absolutely gorgeous image, period. Love it. Tower card, I have a couple. I love the tower in the Revolution Lenormand or Lenormand Revolution. I think it's gorgeous. It reminds me of the tower a little bit without crashing waves in the Llewellyn Tower. I just love it. I love the Fairy Tale Lenormand because it's the Rapunzel. I just love the Fairy Tale Tower. I think it's gorgeous. And I actually really like the clock tower in the Under the Roses because I like clock towers. For the garden, I really like the garden from the Burning Serpent. It's just really gorgeous. I like the colors. It's just beautiful image. But one of the things my favorite has got to be the garden in the Maybe Lenormand. And it's less to do about the garden and more to do about the air balloons. Those air balloons are so awesome. I love those. That's got to be my favorite just because of the air balloons. Mountains, I like a lot of mountain cards. They look like a mountain card. I want them to look like a mountain. But I think this is beautiful. I mean, it looks like it's mountains out in Colorado or something. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Or out in the Swiss mountains or something. I don't know, but it's beautiful. This is from the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. Path cards, I also like a lot of path cards, but I really like the Celtic Lenormand. I really like the stone standing there because it's like that. Okay, it's time. You got to make a decision. It's kind of got that marking the spot that this is a time for a decision to be made. I really like that, a standing stone with the kind of Celtic spirals and stuff on there. I just really like that one. Gilded Reverie. I don't even use the Gilded Reverie that much, but how cute are these mice? As soon as I think about mice, I think about these, even though you can't, I feel like you have a hard time being mad at these mice. They don't really look like they're stealing too much. They're making a mess. I mean, they're eating the apples and getting into the rice bag and stuff. So they're definitely making a mess. Heart cards, I'm not a huge fan of. I do like my heart card, but I do like the Medea because it's just different. This lasting love. I mean, it's tattooed on his arm. So I do love that. It just stood out as being something a little bit different. The ring card, even it's like Lord of the Rings. This is from Vintage Lenormand. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I absolutely love that. But I also really love the Celtic Lenormand's hand fasting. I think that really broad, because you know the ring is about commitments, but it could be business commitments and things. And so I really, that hand fasting idea, I think is, it broadens it. It kind of opens it up to the other interpretations that are the card, that are in the card, exist in the card. Now we have 3 in a row from that Bohemian Gothic, because I'm sorry, this book card is stunning. I absolutely love it. Gorgeous. I also really like the letter card with all the rose petals and like the family picture in the background. I also like, there's another one, I couldn't remember which one it is. I think it's in the 1889 that has scrolls. I do like, but I like the old one that had the letter in the bottle, which is in the little one. I can't believe I didn't pull that out. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't go back and grab, oh, I love that fish one. I just love the whole 1889 and or the, what was the Game of Hope. I know, I'm trying to find it. This one. And they changed it in the 1889 version, and this is, I just love it. It's a letter in the bottle. I love that card. Love it, love it, love it. So that was letter. The man card, I don't have any huge favorites except for, I mean, it's Edgar Allan Poe in the man card of the Lenormand. I'm sold. A woman card, hands down, my all-time favorite is from the Game of Hope, aka now the 1889. She's just beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I absolutely love the woman, because she looks like kind of like Audrey Hepburn with her hair up in a bun like that, like Audrey Hepburn from the Claire de Lune Lenormand. Lily cards I love from the vintage Lenormand. I just love it. It's like gorgeous. And I did pick my own card for the lily. It's hard. It's so hard to get the colors. It's just got these greens and yellows. It just really turned out how I wanted it. And it just, when you look at it, my daughter, who does not know Lenormand, but she's kind of trying to guess things when I show, like, you know, I would send her an image like, oh, I painted this one. And she's like, oh, this looks so much about imbalance or something. I don't know if she said the word harmony or balance, but she said one of the words that actually went with it. And I was like, okay, that works. That works. So I really do love the colors on that. And then for the sun, I also did pick my own, because I just love the colors in this. It just speaks of just sun. It's like, oh, you see, it's sun. Like, what else do you need? It's sun, right? So I do love that one. For the moon, I have a few. I do love the fairy tale. It's the pumpkin. I know it's all about the moon. It's not about what's going on around it, but it's the pumpkin chariot, and it's racing for the moon. It kind of shows the power of the moon as well, but I love it. And I love the Claire de Lune moon with the water effect there and the moonlight on the water. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. The key card, I had to pick my own. I really love this one. I love that light shining through, that success. It's like, hallelujah. Success is yours. The sun is shining. All is wonderful. I just love it. Fish. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, there's over there. Fish card. I like a lot of fish cards, but I really love the maybe Lenormand fish, because so much glare. I'm so sorry. I should have done this by hand. You're down on my hands. I just love the movement here. I think it's gorgeous. It's just a beautiful swirly. I just love it. It's just gorgeously done. Anchor card. I really like the Claire de Lune. I like a lot of anchor cards, but this one actually looks like it's on the bottom of of this ocean, and it's grabbed in, so it's actually anchoring something. I feel like this anchor is actually anchoring something, rather than just like sitting on the shore or something. I feel like it's under the sea. I won't start singing. I think I feel like it's actually anchoring, so I really love that. Oh, I missed a couple. The fish also, I love the fish from Isabel's Lenormand. I really love those two fish. I just, yeah, love it, love it, love it. And then the last one is the cross. And I obviously love Celtic artwork because I love the cross from Isabel's Lenormand that Annika drew for me, and then I love the cross from the Celtic cross from the Celtic cross from the Celtic Lenormand because I just like Celtic cross work because I just think that it's gorgeous. So yeah, those would be my two favorite crosses. I feel like I've done this in like record time. I try to like go because I've got to put all these back. Um, but those are my 36, and I'm sure I liked with tarot. These are not necessarily my only favorites because I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but they were the ones that came to mind as quickly as whatever. I didn't overthink it. I just kind of grab. So these are kind of a little look through some of my favorites of each of the Lenormand cards. So I hope that you've enjoyed that. If you do it, make sure to hashtag it or label it so that we can see it, and I will put a link to Chris's in the description box below. So thank you for this great idea, Chris, and have a wonderful day.